now.
Are you going to make Andy the host?
Andy is the host.
Okay, good.
Okay, I'm going to make him the host now that it's live streaming. Change host, right? Over to you now, Andy. I'm still shaking, guys. I feel sick. I'm sorry, but I'm going to let you. I'm here, but I'm totally falling apart. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm traumatized myself.
Oh God. Oh. Honestly, the extremes they'll go to put to, because this is so important. Just shows how important this is.
We are live on Facebook.
Can't find the Ved Chowdhury.
No, my normal Facebook, isn't it?
Is it on Facebook? Is it on Zoom? Is it on?
I'm putting it on. I put it on Facebook.
Oh right, okay.
On my Facebook, Ved Chowdhury.
Okay, so I'm looking on YouTube.
Let me see if I can. I'm so like shocked.
I'll be able to find it.
Everybody.
Okay, I've got it. Yeah, we're live now.
I've put it in the chat, the link to share.
I'm on it now. So I can see the comments. There's no comments at the moment. There's 5 people watching.
Okay. No, the only reason I suggested that was because the other evening the comments were really on the ball, and it would have been nice to give them some feedback, live.
Yeah, too right. Yeah, too right. Was it on Facebook before? I thought it was on YouTube.
Did we finish the bit about the Lisbon Treaty? Is that where we left off?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's better if we start again. If I do the introduction and we start again, and then I can delete the other one.
Well, I would use that to report. If you put a report in, then they can't suspend your account.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, I'll leave it there then.
So you send it to them and do a complaint, then they can bounce on that person rather than jumping on you.
Right. Okay, good idea.
Use it as your evidence.
Okay, but in any case, whether they remove it or I can't access it, we don't want to risk it. But so I'll just say again, today is Friday, the 22nd of October 2021. This is number 6, Global Online Jury. We are administrators for online juries, and we're inviting people from all over the world to come and join us and train with us. We're training each other. We're still learning from each other. And until we perfect this, Barry Brooks is our kind of main trainer, and then we're all training each other. So over to you, Barry.
Okay, so one of the subjects we were talking about today was the Maastricht Treaty and the Lisbon Treaty. Maastricht 1997, Lisbon 2008, and how it affects the jurisdiction and in fact the laws in the United Kingdom PLC. So Maastricht Treaty was one of the last things that John Major's government did, and it began to remove the assent of the Queen on the formation of laws in our country. So it basically removed the Queen from the top of the pyramid. And then the Lisbon Treaty went the whole hog and made the Queen the subject of a European power. So she became a subject of another force for the first time in 720 years. Our monarch was no longer our monarch. She'd given her sovereignty away. Now remember that we invest our sovereignty in her, so she had no right to do that. They did it to her in order to remove the laws that were controlling the enforcement of law and acts and so on. So what they effectively did was remove the crest behind every judge and magistrate and policeman. And it means that everything became private companies. It gave them that allowance for the corruption to just step straight in and change the whole face of what we deal with. And that was the very month that courts no longer had enforcement bailiffs appointed by courts. So what we understood as bailiffs that would come with court uniforms and court warrant cards disappeared that year. So now you have private companies like CDER and Marston and so on pretending to be court officers, but they're actually just third-party private officers.
This is
So
my private company. Tushku. Tushku. This is my private company.
that's
Tushku.
all part of that's all part of the same corruption creeping through the whole
Power
thing.
speaks. Simple.
Don't worry, you're talking. Wait for the time. Man. I'll just mute you for a second. Carry on, man. I'll just mute him for a second.
Did Abdul want to make a point?
I think it was just saying you've got to unmute yourself, Abdul. Abdul, you've got to unmute yourself. Abdul, I've muted you, mate. You've got to unmute yourself. You've got to unmute it. Abdul, you have to unmute.
Can you hear me, Paul?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to make a point.
And no law can work if you stand up. I use my own, I was my own on that day, or on that day. But what I use, my own power at that time, and then you people come to support, then we're winning it all the time. That's what we have to do. Simple. Fuck the law. Fuck the law.
It's breaking up a bit, Andy. I'm having trouble hearing you.
What Abdul is basically saying that screw that, there is no law. It's just the presumption of law, basically. There is no law at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah,
Common law. Common law. Common law.
Common law is not common. There is no law.
In simple meaning, common law. Common law.
Okay, yeah. So that's it, really. And we were going to ask Alex, from his point of view as a European citizen, how it affected him, the changeover to the European control and so on, and jurisdiction.
Forget the European thing, brother. We are all part of the world.
Abdul, I don't think you should be doing such things. We're trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, Abdul, we're talking. We're being serious. Don't let people speak what they're saying, Abdul. Don't rather than because everyone has their piece. You can have yours say in a minute.
Okay, Andy. Okay, Andy.
Alex?
Yeah, so what can I say from my experience? It's very complicated to explain my experiences. But when I arrived in the United Kingdom, I didn't need a passport, and that raised many questions. I had more questions than answers. So I didn't need a passport. I came here just with my ID. Same like traveling between two cities in Romania. That's how I traveled between Bucharest and London. And then my driving license. I had such issues with the driving license because people just have different opinions. But the conclusion is that the police in the UK and the courts in the UK, they cannot cancel or revoke my driving license. It's not their jurisdiction. No matter how much they try, they can't do anything about it. So I had, at some point, I had something like 36 points on my driving license. I told them, please take this piece of plastic away from me and I will stop driving. And they said, we can't do that. You can carry on driving. There's nothing we can do about it. And then they try to blame me for going to court. They said to me that the only thing they are carrying on with the theater is because I show up at the law courts. And I'm guilty for showing up. So yeah, that's what they tried to say. And I said to them, why do you keep inviting me? And that was the end of everything. And then the pandemic started, the COVID thing, because I would have kept going there if they kept inviting me. Yeah, they only stopped inviting me because of the pandemic. And then, but also at some points when I didn't show up, they arrested me on the street for not showing up at the law court. And not only arrested me, but stole all of my worldly possessions and didn't return it to me. So you can't win with these people. The way I see the system now is like a chicken without a head, running a little bit and struggling before dying. That's how I can describe the system now. It's broken, and that's just how it is. And honestly, I don't know what the solution is, how it can be fixed. I don't know. I'm trying to find because I'm trying to find out because the same thing is happening in Romania, the same issues, the same problems. Yeah, so basically it's the end of the world as we know it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. If anybody has some questions.
Abdul, it's George Carter here. Just one, can you hear me, Abdul? Abdul, can you hear me?
Abdul, you're muted again, mate. Abdul, you're muted again, Mullah.
Somebody said on the television last night, I think it was, that this is the sixth extinction on the planet
Yeah,
that we're going through.
that might just be the case.
George, you wanted to speak to Abdul. Abdul,
Yeah.
can you unmute yourself?
But it's very important to say one more thing. I never hurt anybody. It was never my intention to hurt anybody in the UK or Romania. Yeah, so many acts were broken because the Treaty of Lisbon allows me to break all the local acts. Same like Boris, the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. He said that the acts don't apply to him. Basically, it's the same thing.
They actually don't apply to anybody, but
Yes, exactly.
they can
My point was I never hurt anybody, and I'm not aware of hurting anybody, and my intention was not to hurt somebody.
and it was never a man or a woman that took you to court.
Exactly.
But by showing up in court, you acknowledged their authority.
And it also wasn't a court.
Yeah. By showing
But
up
you
in
know,
court.
you know what they did to me because
This is it. This is the whole when you it's all a lie. It's all
Yes. But Andrew, my first approach to these issues where I'm an EU citizen, you can't touch me, you can't do anything to me, stay away from me, and I'm not showing up at your place of business, just leave me alone. I will carry on doing whatever I know. So I was surrounded by, I think, 5 police cars and about 15, 20 police officers. And I was put in handcuffs, humiliated, tortured, beaten, taken to their place of business against my will. My letters, my correspondence was stolen from my bag. Basically, I don't know if there's a crime that they didn't commit that night. You know, if there was a checklist with all the possible crimes, most of them are checked. So yeah.
Just a question for Abdul. Can you hear me? It's George Carter. Abdul, can you hear me? Abdul? I don't know if you can hear me. I don't think you can.
It's
I don't
frozen at the moment.
I think he's frozen. He seems to be frozen.
Well, I can hear him, but okay.
No, because he's muted.
Okay, I see. Well, it's not. Okay. Well, not to worry. I just wanted to ask Abdul, when this started, did he get any legal representation at all to represent him at court? That's just a question. And what did they say to him? I don't know. I can't hear him. So I take it you can hear me.
Abdul, can you mute yourself so that we can hear you? George would like to know whether or not you had any representation or whether you
Legal.
represented yourself.
Yes, I have a, and no, yes and no, because they apply a section 36 to have a cross-examination to the victims. But on this point, I want to cross-examination, but the court did not allow it. They appointed their own friend. I mean, all the group, CPS, my solicitor, a judge, the group. Yeah. Next question. So I was representing myself my own way, my Spider-Man underwear. But always respect the people whoever work for the authority, because they are humans. We need to respect them to win it, even if the judge or security officer. We can win it if we respect them, because we are protecting them. We are protecting their children. That's a simple message. We don't need to fight with the court staff, security officers, with the judges. No. They are human. We just need to teach them, give them education. Oh, come on, come out from this evil, evil bottle. Come out from evil bottle. And they are standing up. They're fed up. They are fed up. I've seen personally a lot of time from last 1.5 years. They are fed up. The people, whoever working for the system, they are fed up from the heart. We just need to push them. Honestly, if I have 2 people, one is recording me, and I will do my job. Honestly, within a week, you will see the thousands of people on the street. Not people, fuck the people. Students. We are too old. We've done a fuck all for our children so far. Fuck all.
Abdul,
Okay, carry on.
Abdul, you are going to sabotage my account.
Okay, buddy.
It's-
Okay, buddy, understand.
Yeah,
We
please,
haven't done anything for our children.
please do
Buddy,
not do anything like that,
Understand.
please.
Understand, buddy. So we need to stand up of our children. It's easy for us, and we have to do it. And this is the time. We just need to come out, stand in front of the school, tell them, wait. I know that there is so many things apply here. Honestly, Baji, from last 1 month, so many students, they stop when I'm outside, they want to speak to me. I said, no, move on. And they stand other side, they say, Mrs. Attar, in our school, so many children getting sick, they are unable to speak because they're so scared. Their daddy, mommy so scared. Please speak. I told them I'm very busy in my case. I'm busy this, but they say, come. I said, no problem. I just need 1 more parent with me to just make a film, and then you see the system change. We need a student. We need a children in our cause. We had enough. I'm old. I can die anytime. So we need to pass on our knowledge to children quickly. It's easy. No wait. Do act quickly. Just go to local school with one of your friends and just stand with the banner. What you want to say. 1 line. What you want to say. You need to get your children with you. So far, if I see today, brother Andrew, Buddy Hero, only 5, 6 adult here. Honestly, when I was a student, we have 1,000 children, 1,000 students, friends, in a second, in a minute. We shut the roads, bum, for our freedom.
Yeah, what we're trying to do here is we are trying to do online administration of juries, common law juries in every country.
Understand?
This is a technological kind of a progression of the law courts.
Understand?
So what we are doing is different to what people do on the streets. So this
Understand.
is, you know, getting the Zoom accounts and learning to be administrators. So we're going to let Barry take a lead because Barry's saying we've run out of time. And yeah, we're only allowed to speak for 1 minute. We only can make one point. It's only to do with global juries all over the country. So I was just going to ask you to talk about your court case last week, but that's okay. We'll talk another time now because we need to let other people speak. So Barry, back to you. And I don't know, Alex, both of you have got to take a lead on this because I'm still shaking.
No, I'm not shaking it. I'm listening it. But I have a 1 minute, not 1 minute. Well, only
Just mute. Abdul, just mute now, please. Just mute now. Thanks. Andy, could you mute Abdul, please? We need to talk about the other things like the Lisbon. We need to finish that topic because it does affect the way that we carry on with these juries as what jurisdiction with a global jurisdiction. Is there an international jurisdiction that we come under? That's the question.
Yeah, well, this is what Andy lives in, which is common law. So that's the ground, the base rock of everything else that's happened anyway. You know, post Magna Carta, everything's built on common law. So you don't need to worry about acts and statutes and treaties and all the rest of it because they're the ones that have derailed their own process. So we're in this situation where we're all made into artificial corporations at birth, and they're dealing all with artificial corporations against us, which makes it actually easier under common law to derail. So these are the processes that people like Andy and myself and others are using to argue the points and you know, win where you wouldn't have won before. So going back to the global jury thing, there are a load of documents I dug out today, so I'm going to put them on the shared chat screen. So we can need to change. Stephen's already load on there, and maybe we can make this compound document from all of it so that people can just whack it into the face of whoever starts any business against any of us. Okay, that's all I have.
I mean, for me, I mean, from what I've studied over the time that I've looked at all this, I mean, with pointing out the fact that there is no government, they're all corporations now. The police, everything is all corporations. So understanding that concept and having that inset in your mind now, you know what you're dealing with. You are dealing with corporations, and therefore they're no different than McDonald's. Therefore, there has to be a contract with you for them to have any consent to enforce any of their laws that they're making up. So that's what it all comes down to. And the way that they've tricked everybody is by making that body corporate, and people answering for that body corporate and as that body corporate, which they have the control over, or they believe they have, which again, they therefore must have the body corporate's authentication to give them the consent to enforce it even on the body corporate, as the Baron David Ward clearly pointed out, which they haven't got. Now is knowing that, but having that instilled in you is the thing. Whereas you will not answer to the fiction, and you'll only answer as the fact. Or if you're going to answer for the fiction, you're going to request what is required for them to do anything, to enforce anything upon it. Because unless there's a victim, you know, there is no crime. That's it. No victim, no crime. Anything else is not a crime. These are just their acts and statutes, these rules and regulations that they have created. And to not fall prey to those is never to fall prey to either one, admit you're the fiction, or therefore only be the fact. So therefore you're never going to be that. Or number two, you're going to take full responsibility for that, and you're going to speak for your legal embodiment and demand from them what they are required. They require it, for they need your consent. So that's the whole point about it, where most people stay silent, and that's enough for them. That's enough for them because that's the tacit agreement that they required through acquiescence. Yeah. So that's the point. We mustn't stay. We can't stay silent. You know, you can't do nothing, because just in the same way as we spin it back on them with an affidavit or with a lien process, their silence is good enough for us, because that's
Yeah.
all we wanted off them, because that's their acquiescence. They've tacitly agreed to our agreement that we've just created with them, and that's all they're doing. They're spinning it back on us. So we just need to know how we can do it to them. They're doing it to us. How they can stop it? Well, they can't stop us, because we're men. We're facts. You know, their fiction requires the consent. It requires the consent. It's got to have it. It's got to have that consent.
Right, right.
And they will do anything. They'll threaten you with life in prison. They will beat you. They will whip you, just like Kunta Kinte. Yeah, what's your name? You know, beating him and beating him until he answered to Thomas. Once he answered to Thomas, they've got him. And that's what they're doing to us. They're trying to make you answer for the fiction, not answer for your fiction. That's the difference, because you're not the fiction. That's a legal embodiment.
But now that we have this online jury thing, now if we can template this technologically, we need to be advanced so that we don't have to talk to anybody. We're just making the decisions. We're issuing court orders ourselves. We've gone to common law jurisdiction. It's the numbers. We need 12 people to make any decision. And we've jumped out of their jurisdiction. We're in our jurisdiction now. We're online, and we can have 100 people on one Zoom. Only need one person with one account, and at £12 a month, which I'm sure 1% of the people already have a Zoom account. But it's training people how to manage 12 people to make a decision about a court case. So, for example, if we were going to take any one of our court cases, we should be able to make a summary in 5 minutes. I can do that. If you want me to do that, I can do that for the cases that I'm familiar with. And then we decide what we're going to do with, say, for example, Barry Brooks. He has a case of false prosecution. He is a witness to serious crimes by the police and the media of criminal cover-up, an assassination in a criminal cover-up of paedophilia in Parliament. He should have been protected because he was a protected witness. Instead, they framed him, they jailed him, and they robbed him, and they raped him. You know, financially, psychologically, in every way, it's a rape of a character. There's about 6 different types of rape, apparently. It's like assassination. An assassination is a character assassination. There are 10 different types of assassinations, right? So we need to learn to use these words a bit more, because child abuse means nothing in criminal law. It's actually not known to criminal law. It's actually a criminal cover-up to say that word. So what can we say about Barry Brooks' case is that the CDER bailiffs have been assigned to assassinate him. He's had 3 attempts at his life in the last 2 weeks. And funny enough, the first attempt was, say, 7th of October, then 14th of October, then 19th of October when we started these online juries. So they don't like this. And it's putting his life at risk. And that's why I'm saying that you know, our lives are in danger, because these people have been given kill orders and nothing will happen to them. That's the problem. All our lives are at risk. In whatever way they will do it, they have a million ways of killing a person. Margaret Bass, I can give you in 5 minutes her case summary. Attempt on her life.
That's
Sorry?
the point. The person's already dead. That's why they're not guilty of anything, because they can't kill a person.
But how does that help the living person? Now we're coming into the living person. So the living person, we are doing the common law jury to save the living person from being murdered by the dead
Living man
system.
or woman, not person.
Andy, are you going to change the language for her from person, or shall I?
Don't, you can't mention the word person, not even natural person. It's either man or woman. Don't go
Man.
down that road.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get that because in my language, in my first language, there
but
is
this
no
is the language that they're
ambiguity
using.
what I mean. There's a woman and a man, and there isn't anything else.
Well,
But
you're
in
all-
English,
Show me one act or statute, yeah, any of their laws that applies to a man.
None.
That's the point, and that's why they're tricking us. We're not the person. We're not to be the person.
I don't get. I really don't understand the difference
Witchcraft,
between.
sorcery.
Well,
It's
you know,
sorcery,
when you're
words.
saying a man or a woman, I have to say a man or a woman. What do I say if I mean both?
Living person.
No,
No
you,
person.
you say. What do you mean both men and women?
You can't say you can't say a human being.
People,
You can say people.
people.
People, right?
Citizens.
It's an
No.
important one, Nilu, because it's about their legalese. This is about the traps they've laid for us. If you read your council tax summons, it's, you know, you're the person responsible for the council tax. You know, everything, like Stephen says, Andrew says, it's all about legalese, and that's what they've done. They've hooked everybody into it. We're all programmed from childhood.
Mm.
But
They
when we come
can
onto
never
our
speak to the man. They can never speak to the man or woman. They're refusing to speak to the man or woman. All they'll do is ever talk to is the person, because that's all they can. It's a corporation to a corporation. It's just a contract. That was the way in the you know, because it's corporate intercourse. That's where the true meaning of the F off.
yeah, but
means.
we've
F
moved
off.
away from it. We're in the common law realm now. We're
Yeah,
already
Taken
there's
over.
there's no question about what I mean when I say a person. I mean any living man, woman, child. You know, we have to we have to know what I mean more than what I say. Unless there's any doubt what I mean, you have to know what I mean, not what
But
I
they know
say.
what you mean. I know what you mean, but unless you define what you mean, they're going to take it how they want it to.
But who? They're not here, Andy. We're making the decisions now.
But
We're
to
in
get into good
control.
habit would be to get into a good habit. To stay in a good habit is to be in a good habit.
But that's not my
Yeah.
language. I wasn't born with that language.
Change
That's
your
not my
language. To
language.
understand it.
Andy, we have to learn the international language of
Nilu.
truth, honor. It's honestly the
Nilu,
English language.
Nilu, it's not our language either. It's theirs. It's legalese. It's not English either.
Correct.
You have to get out of the habit. You have to, because the trouble is, if somebody asks you a question and you respond normally saying, yes, I'm that person, you've got joinder. You've contracted straight away. You have to get out of the habit. And the only way is to do it in forums like this as well. You know, if somebody says, do you understand what I'm saying? You shouldn't ever say, yes, I understand, for the same reason. It's all legalese.
It's all a trick to contract. It's all a trick. Anything, any letter, anything coming through, it's all about.
But how does that affect us? I mean, we're honourable people. We're not going to be dealing with one or the other. We know exactly we're talking about the living person, right? Living. I have to say living person. I'm going to say living person. I'm not going to change that because
If you
I
say
know
you're
what
the
that
living
means.
person, you're immediately under their thumb.
But I'm not talking to them. I'm not talking to them right now. I'm only talking to my friends who know what I mean.
You have to get into the habit of speaking common law. You have to.
Living person is a contradiction, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. It's an oxymoron.
Yeah. Exactly. Oxymoron. That.
A bit like military
How
intelligence.
can you be a living and a corporation? A corporation is not alive. A person
A
is
living-
a corporation.
The living dead.
You're the living dead entity. Yeah.
That is the living dead, yeah. A living person is the living dead.
In fact, it's the walking dead.
Is the dead entity. It's a legal entity. It was created to your placenta. It was the abandoned material that they've claimed salvage on if we haven't claimed it back.
So how do we say that? We say man or woman?
That's what.
Yep.
Me.
Me.
Can you see me? I'm here.
Look at the origin of the word, Margaret. So man and womb man.
Yeah.
Womb man.
We're all men. I mean, some have got wombs, some haven't. So we're all men here, but some have got little dangly bits and some have got something that hasn't.
Don't bring that subject up again. Nilu's still with us.
as we were shown earlier.
Yeah, it's just you know, controlling men is amongst women. Honestly, there's a certain decency.
Men control themselves. Like, don't talk about other people like just because they've got a willy doesn't mean they're a man. Okay, there's a difference.
They say possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah.
So they've got the other 10%, haven't they?
Exactly.
Well, I think you say that to Margaret. She doesn't agree with you at the moment, does she?
Which one? Which one?
Possession is 9/10 of the law. You had possession of your house and they took it off you.
Oh, yes, yes. And they broke this finger. I'm suffering from this finger. It's really painful. Since then, they handcuffed me. I don't know what they did with it. These 2 fingers. It's very painful.
I wanted to say something to Reg very quickly as well, because he's been wandering around waving his hand at the camera. There's software that can pick up thumbprints and fingerprints from cameras now.
Oh.
You know, when you put your hand near the camera, they
Yeah.
can pick up the fingerprints.
Oh, so they can steal my fingerprint.
So just be careful. Reg has
Okay.
been waving his around, you know, all the time.
Okay.
Do we know who Reg is then, Barry? Do we know Reg?
I don't know. He looks like a taxi driver.
No, I know. He's a common law. He's practiced. He knows a lot about common
One
law.
of the gang.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, Reg, do you want to say a few words and say hello to us? You're muted. You're muted.
Muted, Reg.
Just
You're
press
still
on the.
muted, mate. That's to unmute.
That's it. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Reg.
You all right?
Yeah.
I've just been driving. I only got the invite just before. I seem to be getting all the notifications late.
Okay.
Well, actually, I mean, Nilu's got this going live on her channel, and I've shared it to someone they can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Oh.
being around as well.
Yeah, they're messing about, aren't they?
It's beyond it. It's just,
What is it you're discussing?
we're just discussing about basically just creating online jurors in a common law jurisdiction or a landlord jurisdiction.
I've got a load of trouble with them, mate. I've been getting harassed by the police. They keep raiding me house looking for drugs, for all kinds. They don't find nothing. They stitch me up.
It's because
Do you know them swab tests you get on your mouth, Andrew?
Yeah.
Hey, they give me one of them, right? And they took it out my sight. And they locked me up because they rubbed weed on it. So it failed, so they could lock me up. They're trying to get me banned.
Yeah. I'll do it.
The proper corrupt.
Yeah, they'll try anything, mate. Jimmy says hi, Reg.
Hi, Jim. Jimmy Carlisle.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Oh, Jimmy. So yeah, so that's the base of it, and Barry's going to basically show us what it is that we need to do to organise a sensible and conduct a sensible online jury, and be so that it holds. I mean, from what I'm seeing, is basically that the jury would be a support to whichever lien that they're putting into it. So it would be, you know, like if you was to do a lien and you have 2 people to witness the fact that you're doing it, now you've got a jury of 12, the decision that you're correct as well. So it would be something like that. It's the added weight that the decision's been made. So, you know, it's not, you're not there on your own no more. But so when because they are being ignored. I mean, I don't know whether what the assets is, you know, you've got to try everything, haven't you? So it's adding the weight to whatever lien that you're putting against these people. Getting these liens converted was obviously the number one. Either getting the lien converted or getting these alleged public servants to actually perform their duty that they're actually paid for. Well, go and arrest all them, because ultimately they're all thieves, because they're all taking a wage at the end of the week and they're not providing the service that they're claiming that money for. So that's theft.
Which police is it, Reg? Which police are you?
Merseyside in Liverpool. I was on the phone today for a long time this morning to the IOPC.
Yeah.
Well, I was speaking to him, and when I asked him to identify himself, he's a PC himself. So you're complaining about PCs to PCs, and I don't know how that works out. You know what I mean? And he was arguing with me about my affidavit. What the Baron done an affidavit for me, and I sent it to all the MPs, and I've got it. It's all unrebutted since 2016. And he's saying it's useless. He's just completely ignoring it, saying that's just a fallacy. He's telling me an affidavit. That was somebody who was in the IOPC. So what chance have he got?
Well, he can rebut it, yet the Queen and the government can't. But he can just say it's fallacy. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, it's what it is.
That's exactly. He said it's a fantasy. Take no notice of it. He was trying to tell me. I said, mate.
And what's his words then? What's his words then? What does that make his words? Nothing.
That's exactly what it said to me.
Void of substance, just words.
Yeah,
Just like you might as well be farting out your body, shouldn't you? Because that's all it is, just words. You know, you've got the fact that the affidavit has been rebutted. It's got royal assent by acquiescence, and it's got foundation by 657 MPs. And this stupid cockend can just say like it's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got we had George Carter here earlier, and it seems like the police use him for training because they're always harassing him about 20 times. Now he's been just kidnapped, held hostage, and for no reason. And they had about, I don't know, 17, 18 charges faked by a neighbour. So neighbourly problems are used for police to do their training. It's like that's just how the corporate structure keeps increasing its revenue and terrorizes us because we're used as free training and experiments.
Dave's familiar with neighbourly disputes.
You off?
Aren't you, Dave?
Well, the thing is, I dare say they do use us for training, and they can pick us off, can't they? One by one, they pick us off. So if 12 people get together and pass a judgment on these incidents, then that will carry a little bit more weight than the individual putting their hands up and asking them to stop. Really, they like to mentally torture us, don't they? And they're very good at it. They've got it off to a fine art, the manner in which they do mentally torture us. But if they tend to, that in itself tends to make it isolating. You find yourself isolated. Whereas this idea that we can have this online will help the people concerned, won't it? Because at least they've got somebody to turn to who's like-minded. They've been through the experience themselves.
I have to wear a camera everywhere I go.
That doesn't surprise me.
If I get harassed by the police, they stitch me up. I have to wear a camera and film. It's the only time they leave me alone or treat me properly is when I've got my camera on me.
Best thing to do is wear a disguise, my friend.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna have to change my car again.
So one of the things there is that, we've got the convened jury and we've got the document prepared that we're working on at the moment. And it means that 12 people or more can then contact that officer, fax in the document, which we generate that evening, and get them to back off. There are ways, especially when you start threatening financial, reiterations, like you said, liens and costs.
Well, especially if it's made personal to them personally. They don't like that, do they? They like to hide behind these corporations, but they like this anonymity, keep their self identity disclosed. Whereas they know everything about us. They know where we live, what we do. But as soon as you find out a little bit of information about them, they don't like it, do they?
They abuse the Data Protection Act, one of their rules, don't they? They proper abuse it.
Yeah, so that's one of the tools we can use back against them, Rich.
Yeah, how do we do that though?
Be like
Well,
a mirror.
even the police are subject to the data subject access request, so you can do that. And we were discussing the other day online, even when they redact it, which they will, you'll get loads of black lines through everything. You get a lot more information from what they miss out or black out than they realise.
Yeah.
We've had items with Alex where he's had a redacted report back, and on the second one, he's forgot to redact the information. So you get more information from the missed information than you do from the stuff they actually try and give you. Yeah, and they stitch themselves up because they are required to give certain things like the name of the arresting officer and the numbers and the station and so on, and they try and redact it. Well, that's actually a criminal offence.
Yeah, well, what I've found is you can get all that details, you can get the numbers, the names, the station that are. You go to the IOPC, and the IOPC, they just argue with you. They tell you you're wrong. You haven't done anything wrong.
Like you just said, though, they're paid by the same institution, aren't they? It's a bit like going to a parking complaints committee about the parking companies because they're all paid by them as well.
That's the same, yeah. Well, they all work.
What we're forming here is a force that can, like when George was kidnapped the other day, I mean, a few of us rang the station. And remember, they have to log all these calls and they have to answer the calls back and they have to give the information. If they know that 12 or 15 or 50 people are going to ring every time you're kidnapped.
Yeah, yeah.
They have to log all that.
Didn't John Smith try all that? What happened to John Smith? I haven't heard much from him.
The trouble with John is he's got no enforcement process. Unless he employs 100 thugs nationwide to go around and enforce, we've got no enforcement process. So the idea that people like Andy and I have come up with is this using common law commercial liens and tags and financial, suing basically to get some recompense. So if they know they're going to have to pay you 25 grand every time they try and kidnap you, or 5 grand every time they stop you, or 50 grand every time they get you into one of their business centres, then they'll start to think twice. We had an occasion with Dave, who's on now, 2 police officers without any paperwork trying to kick his door in at his house. So he's already got a common law lien plates on the outside of his house and on the front of his porch. So we sent a bill. We did a normal invoice bill under the Bills of Exchange Act, and it frightened them off. It's like kryptonite. They don't want it, billed to them. We did it correctly under law. We sent it to the right place, and ever since they haven't been over the threshold. There's been one instance where 2 officers weren't instructed, but it does work. The only thing they understand is money anyway. So the minute you threaten them with money, they do run away.
Yeah, well, like you said, like Andrew said, they hide behind the veil, don't they? And they don't believe they have to pay anything. It comes from our pocket when it comes out of our purse.
Well, they'll never pay it.
Immunity.
Very difficult.
They think they've got access to immunity. That's the point, because they're all.
They have, Andrew, haven't they?
Well, they have, but
it's unlawful.
Obviously, there's a way of doing that. There is a way of doing that, and that's basically what we're trying to do.
It's the numbers, isn't it?
The veil's been lifted because they've committed a crime. Once they commit the crime, that pierces the veil. So
yeah, well, like you say, there's a loose thread in that veil. What we're pulling at, isn't it?
Yeah.
We just got to keep pulling that loose thread on that veil until it comes down.
Brother, wait, Andrew, wait. The police officer, the court officer, they are our brother. They're doing the job. Why not you give them a job? Give them overtime so they understand our language. Work together.
They should all come. They should all start working. I've heard said, a few that these are police that are going to, So ultimately, if we had a way of accessing the money that's coming in from the liens, then we could pay them as a force anyway. That's why I've always said we need private detectives and bailiffs. Police would be good enough. Police could work as those bailiffs, working in honour, working with the honour, working with a true a claim from them, because you've got a perfected
under a proper oath. Yeah,
under a proper oath. Yeah. Then you've got that. And that's what it would take. If you had these people that would do that.
I find it very disrespectful when Abdul's laughing in the background, I'm afraid.
No. I'm afraid to say that I'm 55 years old. I'm not laughing it. I'm only saying to that how to fight the system. Give them a police officer job, not more, not fight, because they are brother or sister. Tell them, only tell them, realize them, wait, what are you doing it? What are you doing? If you give us a ticket, put in a bin. And they know that, and we know that. So we don't need to explain. That's I'm laughing it. They're doing a job. Don't hurt them. They're human. We need to change their mind. We
Yeah.
need to change their mind. We need to bring them in our side, not against us.
We know what we need to do. It's
Thank you.
putting it into practice and them listening. They don't seem to listen. They're so far gone and brainwashed.
They need to understand the difference between a constable and an officer. That's what
That's the thing. They don't listen to you. It's a way of
they
enforcing
need to
everything.
understand when they swore the oath, that was as a constable, you know, and that was there to serve the people.
I've got that oath on my phone, which I produce every time I speak to them. Like, there's your oath. Do you remember what that says? And I read it out to them, you know. And none of them know it. None of them know. Not one of them yet is being able to recite their oath.
Because they're all officers, they're all working for a private corporation.
Have you seen the new warrant cards, Andrew, where it's got police in all capitals, which doesn't say police, it says POLICE, as you know, officer, and underneath in very small writing it as police constable. But I think that's got to be there for them to be publicly funded, because they've got to act. They've got to be constables, but they're acting as officers. So basically,
Can we, sorry to interrupt you, but we're supposed to be talking about this online jury. It's only about administrators who are going to have Zoom accounts, who are going to gather 12 people whenever there's a case. We need to be able to set up a Zoom within a few hours. We need to keep focused now, because we're not interacting with the corporate structure here. We are totally jumping ship. This has nothing to do with engaging with any of them. We are giving the orders. So we don't need to deal with all the history of all their power and how they tricked us and how they cheated us and how they made us think that they were law-abiding public servants whilst we were getting assassinated. But this is now about vulnerable people on a daily basis who are getting assassinated slowly. So, like, for example, I was saying Margaret's friend Sandra had an 82-year-old mother kidnapped on Sunday. She was discharged from hospital and she's currently being charged £150 a night into her estate. You cannot teach an 82-year-old woman what she has to do. You have to take control of a situation. So Sandra has been, she's got a claim number from the CQC. She's phoned them. She's got a crime number from the police. She's got some friends gathered up, and she's put them on notice that if they don't return her mother today, there's going to be a situation. So this is a case that we need to deal with today.
Yeah. Then let's do it.
Well, there are 12 of us here now.
Nilu, this is George here, George Carter.
Hi,
So
George.
what are you suggesting in relation to the 82-year-old lady? There's 12 of us here. Obviously, assertive action needs to be taken according to what you're telling me. What are we suggesting could be done immediately to assist her?
So obviously there is like 80 unit building. They are trafficking old people straight from hospital into this private unit. It's run by Bupa.
Okay.
They're charging £150 a night for that old person into their estate. So they're eating into their assets before they die. Now the hospital discharged her to the care of her daughter on Sunday, but this home is refusing to release her.
What can we do? That's the question. What are we going to do, or how can we assist this young lady with her mother?
So, well, I asked her to put the home on notice. The manager's pretending she's busy. She can't meet her. She was supposed to asked them to deliver her, well, to return her mother home because she's a hostage, she's kidnapped. So basically, we require that this lady, her name is Jean Joseph.
This is the manager.
Oh no, the 82-year-old mother who's held
82-year-old,
hostage.
okay, sorry. Okay.
Right.
Be released.
Yeah, to be released immediately.
Yes.
So
No,
do
no.
we, I'm just thinking out loud now, I'm just thinking, obviously, in answer to your question, this is what we should be doing to take effective action. I was in prison on the 13th of this month, as you know, kidnapped, and there was Andrew, yourself, and a number of people made a call to Freshwater police station, Freshwater detention center in Barking, and obviously I was conscious that the police knew calls was coming in because they told me a number of calls came mainly from my wife. They then panicked. This custody sergeant panicked and then basically phoned my wife every 15 minutes wanting to get a legal advisor for me so they could get me out. Obviously, I was kept there for 10 hours. So what I'm saying in this 82-year-old lady, what immediate steps can we take other than us sending emails to the lady, to the home, the manager of the Bupa home, to say, we demand a release? Would you suggest something like that? We all get email and demand her immediate release by sending emails to her, or
can we?
How do we do that? That's what I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it's a good question, George, and I'm just thinking as you asked that Bupa is running this scam. Bupa has not just kidnapped this lady, but 80 other elderly people, vulnerable people.
Right.
So we could find out how many elderly homes are being run by Bupa, and then we can assume that all their homes are full of hostages, of people they've kidnapped from the NHS.
I'm sorry, Neela, you can't make assumptions like that, and you can't start on a project that size. There's about 1,100 Bupa homes. There's about 32,000 old people's homes in Britain alone.
Yeah.
You're barking up a very big tree that there's no way. I mean, pick on, like George says, there are a number of tools available to us. So making a pain in the arse on the telephone is one.
Yes.
But the only thing they understand is money. So do a counter suit. Just start a counter suit straight away with our decision.
I think that's where we need more people in more towns and cities to be able to set these up instantaneously and get it rolling straight away, rather than 12 people from all over the country phoning and sending emails. Something could be done from the town straight away.
But I think what we're saying there, Stephen, and my question basically, and I'm still answering the question, I would suggest what Baz said would be more effective. We get the name of the man rather than be going all over the place. Number of associates of the young lady's daughter contact the manager of the home and head office, because I've got head office number of Bupa and the CEO, and then email them about this unwarranted kidnap of the lady. That's what I would say we do. So at least we know, well, we hope there'll be a reaction from Bupa on this. So rather than having the immediate answer, I would think is those who know her, we got the contact details. I can get Bupa's CEO, and name of the home, Margaret will have that in mind, and demand her immediately. There'll be a charge if she's not, or something of that nature, money, because that's what they deal with, and that's what they understand.
I agree with that in the short term, but as I say, in ideally you'd want it to happen every town, every city around the country, around the world, wouldn't you? So you can get local people involved, demanding people to do what's needed to be done.
But I think I can understand what you're saying, but I mean, because this is someone who's known to Margaret and other folks, I'm saying we'd start with that and then build on that for other people in other parts of the country. This is one there that's affecting the lady, because you said it's only a couple of days ago. We can start effective action by doing something of that nature to badger the home to make sure they're aware we're on their case about this 82-year-old lady. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
So we
similar.
need the details then, don't we? We all
it's
need
similar-
the
it's similar to
details.
what- it's similar to what we're saying, then basically we're enforcing her claim. We're just the
That's it.
enforcement of her claim.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I mean, you'd need the information. Alan Johnson said, could you not obtain this information via freedom of information? But this is like a lengthy period. I mean, at the end
Yeah,
of the day,
we can,
if
yeah.
they're holding her, they've got to have a reason for holding her.
Yes.
What reason are they using?
Pardon?
What reason are they using for taking her?
Yeah, what the reason are they? What reason? What is their explanation to say that they're not releasing her?
What's the
That's right.
ground?
Nilu, what's their reason?
Well, the home it says it's for rehab, it's for dementia, and it's just for general caring. But she has a daughter.
It's for their safety or for their health or.
Well, the daughter has got a discharge letter to say the daughter can take her mother home with her on Sunday. So the mother is not available to go home because she's been put in this £150 a night Bupa private facility from the NHS. So the NHS is not allowed to sidetrack patients into private things against the consent of the patient and the daughter, because they're trying to make out she doesn't have capacity. That's what they do when they're going to do something like a kidnap.
Who's got power of attorney?
Is there one?
That's the point. They've got the power of attorney, yet the daughter is saying that. So I mean, has the mother said that she wants to leave?
The mother has said she wants to go home with the daughter, and she's got full capacity. She knows the date, time, place.
Enforcement of the
That's what we
discharge
need to know.
notice you want then, isn't it?
That's what we need to know then, because now they're breaching it. They're breaching it.
You've got the discharge letter, then it's.
Well, Barry, he was
enforcement
gonna
of
say
the
something. He had your hand up.
I'm going to say Dave's got peculiar knowledge on this because he had exactly the same experience with his mother.
Yeah, I had power of attorney.
Should the police not be brought in on this? The police?
Yeah.
They're in on it. They're complicit in it. They went through the same scenario. They do what they like. There's nothing you can do. If they want to murder somebody, they murder them, and that's what they did with my mother. It took 2 attempts for them to succeed, and in the end, they did succeed. But you can't. If you think you're going to go to the police and they're going to help you, they're not. They're in on it. They get their percentage. The whole lot stinks. It's a machine. It's like a factory. They've got a factory going, churning out these crimes, and because they pick us off one at a time, we're weak. I mean, we've got 12 people on here now who just want a common letter that we could all, in effect, endorse.
Yes.
And then 12 people carries a lot more weight than the individual, doesn't it? And I mean, really, the daughter should be more assertive and just walk the mother out of the building, shouldn't she?
No.
Really, but
they would arrest her. They would arrest her. They'd have her arrested. They would.
I dare say, yeah. Well, then that proves the police are in on it, then, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, of course. But Baz, would you suggest for the immediate effect we do get more information from Nilu, and then we all do a concerted letter together to the Bupa home, to the manager, and just copy the CEO of Bupa in? No?
Yeah, that and an email and phone calls. And
Yes,
a
and
date.
phone calls.
So we help the daughter do an N1 form and take them straight to court and just wallop it on their desk tomorrow.
Got you.
Harass them.
So Nilu, I would suggest that what we do now, I can get some of the information for you, Bupa themselves, so we go direct to the head of that organization or that corporation.
We'll need permission from the daughter to do so.
Okay, of course, yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, as long as you have permission, then that's fine. But then the
Yes.
court case, we could just do an N1 with her, just help her to do it.
Mm,
If they're charging 150 a day, tell the daughter to charge them 300 a day.
yes, yes. Yeah.
For the loan of her mother.
Or 300 an hour. I don't know. Make something that will focus them. And that's a successful suit because they have no permission. They've got no jurisdiction and no authority. If it's been reported to the police with a crime number, it's an instant win for the daughter.
So it's a one-sided contract. Let's make our side of the contract. We've
Yes.
got conditions too,
Yes, I agree.
I'm hoping the daughter's going to join us soon.
Okay, but we can turn that round And this is what Andy has been saying about turning it around and using their tools against them. Contract, they don't have jurisdiction. So let's show them what real contracted jurisdiction means. They only understand money. The minute it threatens their profits, they'll chuck her out.
So Nilu, the ball's in your court. I mean, is the daughter going to join tonight? Is she going to give you, because that's obviously, as Baz said, we're going to need consent from the daughter to proceed on the basis that we've just suggested.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping.
It's 20 to 8 now. Can I suggest that maybe you collect the information later?
Yes,
and
yes.
email everybody
I
once
agree.
you've got consent, and then we'll all have the email and the numbers and the details and so on. We can all then contact tomorrow and Sunday. And
I
Monday
agree.
and
I
Tuesday.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Okay, so what
Yeah, that's a
what
good
what
idea.
kind of info? You just want consent from the daughter?
Well, she's got to give consent for all of us to
Oh,
contact
she's
one
joined.
of us.
She's joined. She's joined.
Okay, good, good. What's her name?
Sandra Joseph. Her
Okay.
mother is Jean Joseph.
Okay. Which area of the country are they back, Nilu?
New Cross and Lewisham Hospital is involved.
Okay. Hi, Sandra.
Hello, Sandra. Can you?
Yeah, hi, Neela. You all right?
Yeah,
Hi.
we're all wanting your consent to assist
Yes.
you with your mother's case.
Yes.
Do you want to give us a summary of what's happened in about 2-minute summary?
Yeah. Can you hear me properly because of traffic? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Let me move somewhere a bit more quiet.
You're fine.
You sure?
Yep,
Right.
yep.
My
Yeah,
mum
that's
was
fine.
in, my mother went to Lewisham to King's College Hospital first on the 5th of September,
Okay.
21, and because she had a mild stroke. Yeah.
Okay.
And I spoke to the consultants that were there, and I got a summary of how things go because I have no knowledge of strokes. The consultant and the nurse told me that in these cases, a patient could be in the hospital up to 6 months. I said, 6 months? That's too long for my mum. But anyway, then they told me that my mum will have to be transferred to Lewisham Hospital because they have more equipment to deal with their needs. Right. So she left King's College Hospital about 10 days, then went to Lewisham. Then this doctor named Dr. Saka, in front of my sister Claudia Joseph, and in front of the occupational therapist, Elsa Mann, M-A-N-N, he said to me, "Oh, hello, Miss Joseph." I said, "Hello. I would like to talk to you. Can we go somewhere and sit down and talk?" And because of his shady attitude, I said, "No, you stay here. I want everybody to hear what you got to say because something ain't right here."
Good.
So he was shocked. I said, "I'm sorry, I'm a straightforward black and white person. I'm not into the lip service." So anyway, he started to talk. He says, "Miss Joseph, your mum's not engaging properly." And when he said, Anne, I said, "Dr. Saka, you want the bed? Just be straight with me. You want the bed? Yeah?" And he said to me, he was shocked. He went silent for a little bit. And he goes, "Well, yes." I said, "Just tell me straight, you want your bed?" So he said to me, if I can arrange for care for my mother, and she's going to need probably 24 hours care around the clock because she's not engaging. I said, "Fine." Then the gangsters then started to harass me because they want their bed. So I said to them all on different occasions, "Listen, I cannot harass people that are willing to help me because they have commitment also." Then I found out today the discharge head woman, she got IMCA involved, that's IMCA, and that is only for people that don't have any family. So everybody's wondering, why is it that they put IMCA onto my mum, because that is unlawful what they did there. Anyway, getting to the juicy bit now. I'm getting ready to pick up my mum on the 16th of October. And I told them I'm coming to take my mum. Then they tried stopping me verbally, but I can't do this, I can't do that. I said, "Okay, I'll call the police." I called the police. I told the police what's happening. And the police said to me, "Is your mother there?" I said, "Yeah, she spoke to my mum And my mum told the police, I want to go home. All this is recorded. I want to go home. I want Sandra to go home with Sandra. Anyway, she said, the policewoman said to me, put me on to the nurse. I went to the nurse. I said, nurse, sorry to disturb you, but the police wants to speak with you. She held her head straight on the computer. She never acknowledged me. I said to the officer, I said, officer, did you hear that? She goes, yes, I did. She goes, put on your speaker. She goes, listen to me. I've spoken to Sandra's mother. All her faculties are there and she wants to go home. You cannot hold her against her will. And I'm telling Sandra to go home, to take her mum home. When I started to get ready with my sister Claudia Joseph and a family member, Terence Baptiste, another nurse tried to stop me. She called the police on me and told the police I have witnessed.
You're muted, Sandra. You have to unmute. You're muted.
Sandra, you've muted. Sandra, you've muted.
Yeah.
You just stopped off what you said. The nurse came back and called the police.
And told the police, I've got evidence, told the police that I'm disrupting the ward. And 8 police came and 4 security. And they felt so ashamed because when they came, I'm sitting down talking to the nurse and the nurse is closed up next to me. And the police officer and the policeman goes, are you Sandra? And I said, yeah. I said, what's wrong? He said, oh, I'm ever so sorry. I have to apologize. I think we've been called on the runaround. But I didn't take no notice of it because that time I didn't know there was so much police. Then the nurse told the officer, yeah, me and Sandra's just talking. We're sorting things out for tomorrow for her to collect her mum. And I came the sun. That was that. We had a talk. And I said to her, Bonnie, can you put what you discussed with the police in writing? So she just done it on a normal paper with the date and the signature. Then I came back on Sunday. I didn't sleep because I got home about 1:30 and I left the house 6:30 because she finishes work at 8. I got there, then there was Bonnie again, who gave me the letter on the Saturday with a doctor named Dr. Seeley. And they're stating to me again, can I leave it for one day? I said, listen, could you get my mother to me, please? I want my mother. Told me, Bonnie, one day, and now coming again, this is some trick. I said, either you give me my mother or everything you've told me, you put it in writing and I don't want no words skipped out. It was a lot of work to get that letter, but I got the letter done, like they're discharging my mum to me. Then 3 hours after they give me the letter, they bring my mum to the care home. Then I went there on Monday and a nice lady at the reception said, since you're here, I'll let you see your mum for 30 minutes. And I took pictures of the video footage of the place. I took video footage of their manual. And I said to Mum, do you know where you are? She said, I'm in the home, but I'm not sure where it is. I said, it's in New Cross. I said, when did you come in, Mum? She said, Sunday. I said, Mum, what do you want to do? Tell me what you want to do. She goes, I want you to take me home. I want to go home. I said, where is home, Mum? She said, 76 Endrell Road. I said, what is the postcode? SE4 2ND. I've got all this on footage. Footage don't lie. Then I went back there again. I called the police before I saw my mum, sorry, to assist me to get my mum, but they didn't want to know. They're telling me about ringing social services. So I just ended the call. I said, sorry to disturb you, officer, and I just ended the call. Then I went there on Wednesday to bring her clothes because a nice lady said my mum needs a change of clothes. So I bought 8 dresses and a bar of soap. And I'm on my way to go there now to bring her a mobile phone and some slippers and toiletries. And then I've had the South London Press, they've been making inquiries, and the Gleaner, the Jamaican Gleaner, and the Guardian hasn't made any inquiries, but they have sent me some details where they can real. Then I've had the frailty doctor that deals with people like my mum's position. She said to me today, she's confused. There's a lot of things she doesn't understand. So I said, Penny, it's obvious what's going on. Whatever you don't understand, it's obvious. But I can't really say because, you know, I have to have things in black and white as evidence. But you know, and everybody else knows something is wrong.
So, Sandra, did you get the feeling that they're doing this to a lot of elderly
Yes,
people?
yes. It's a big syndicate. I think the home is involved. I managed to get the owner of the home, his email address, which I'm so glad. So all I'm going to do is email him, because I missed him today, is email him over the weekend that I need an appointment to see you as soon as possible, if you don't mind. I only need 15 minutes, 20 minutes, what I've got to tell him. You understand? So I'm going to tell him that my mum is held here against her will. I don't know if you realize this. There's a lot of things that's not adding up. And I've come to speak with you to find out if you're aware. And I want to know who signed the agreement for my mum to come in care, in this care home. I have asked 7 people and I can't get an answer. I cannot get an answer. So this is where I'm at now. And I've got to be nice to them, because if I ain't, they're going to stop me coming there.
Sandra, we are going live. So this is going live. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. Because
Okay.
everything I've told you is the truth and nothing but the truth. I swear on my mum's life, I've not added anything.
Yeah. So this is public interest petition that you've
Yes.
put to us, that you're a witness to the fact that a
Yes.
company called Bupa has subcontracted its services to a private owner.
Yes.
And they are trafficking elderly people directly from King's College Hospital via Lewisham Hospital, straight sideways into a private a home where they're charging £150 per
Some of them are more than
night.
that. Some of them are more.
And what if it was a bed and breakfast, how much would you say that it should cost?
If it was a bed and breakfast, in New Cross, no more than £49 a night.
Okay, so they're charging 150% commission.
Yes.
The NHS is getting
Yes.
commission, right?
But the thing I don't understand is my mum doesn't have any Bupa insurance. So how come she's in there? How come? I don't understand. And I've been asked that. I got in contact with the CQC, the Commissioner Care Commission, the Commission
Care
Quality
Commission,
or
yeah.
And they said to me, Sandra, if you don't mind me asking, has your mum got Bupa insurance? I said, no. I deal with all her affairs. She doesn't have Bupa. Her insurance is all with Aviva.
Okay, so would you? We are 12 people here.
Yes.
So we could make a decision.
Yes.
In the public interest, because you brought this petition to us. We could make a decision. In the public interest, because you brought. So, are you happy for us to decide about your mother, or let Barry decide what it is that we can actually do in this situation?
Because you're quite sensible, and I presume the other 12 members are just as sensible as you. And I need help right now because I'm too silent because of where my mother is. I don't want nothing to happen to her. And my mum's not happy. I'm 62 years of age, and I have never, ever seen tears come from my mother's eyes. She kept on begging me, to take me home. Now to tell her a little lie and say, Mum, they're getting your bed ready. They've ordered your bed. That's how I've left it with my mum. And I don't feel good telling her fibs.
So does your mum actually need 24-hour care?
Nah, she doesn't. I've been looking after my mum for 5 years. The only thing is her left arm and her left feet is just not mobile like before. That's all.
So are you able to look after your mum as she is? Yeah.
Because I already arranged for care for her. And I paid £200 and look, nothing's happened. You see?
So the council would be liable for her care, won't they?
They're supposed to be, but something is fishy.
Yeah, they're in on it. The council will be in on
Something
it.
fishy.
But
What
does your
I've been told, and I can't mention no name because I really respect what the person told me. It's a scam that's been going on for many years in Lewisham Hospital. That's what I was told by somebody that works in the MRI department that I went university with. And they said to me that anybody elderly with assets, they quickly push them into a care home and slap a charge on their property.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They did it to my friend when her father, he had a bit of dementia, but it got worse when he went into the care home and he died. He died within 3 months. And my friend has never been the same from then. This is terrible. Why are they fighting to keep my mum in the care home? That's the questions we need to ask ourselves. When my mum has told total 17 professionals she wants to go home, about 5 has told me she's got full capacity. I've told them I've got carers ready. They know that I've been taking care of them. My mum's told them already at the hospital that Sandra looks after me well. She's been taking care of me for many years. So, you know, anybody can work out that something is wrong. And
What
if
I want to
nothing's
know
wrong,
is
they need
how
to tell me
did they
that I'm
get
wrong.
power of attorney?
Huh?
I want to know, and how did they get a power of attorney?
I don't know if they got power. I don't think so, because my mum did a power of attorney for me. But because of the COVID, there's a long backlog, 5 months. Yeah.
Well,
She
what
did
what
it
I done
about,
with my mum, I was caring for my mum for 8 years before she passed away, and I got
okay.
power of attorney and got her to sign all their assets over to me.
Yeah.
And so that he couldn't touch them because that's what they tried. They were asking, does she own property? Does she own this?
My
And
mum has done all of that. My mum has done all of that, but the PTO office is looking for it.
They took my power of attorney away from me when I complained about my mother's treatment in the hospital. They put her into isolation, so I couldn't contact her. And then they took the power of attorney away from me and got her to sign some papers. And when I asked her afterwards why she signed the papers, she said I didn't know what I was doing. And that's the council and the hospital will have a tame solicitor somewhere that they will use to rob you of your power of attorney, which is what they did to me. In the end, they murdered my mother and took my power of attorney away. I lost all her possessions. I ended up with a blue takeaway bag on the front door with the possessions in.
Bad. This is bad. This is.
Have you heard of the Liverpool pathway?
Sorry?
Have you heard of the Liverpool pathway?
Oh yeah, the Liverpool. Yeah.
Well, because
have you heard of the Gosport 350?
Hang on,
No.
I think we need to go back to this. We're doing a jury now. We've got a case.
Yes.
We've heard the case.
Yes.
And now we just need to ask questions about the remedy that you seek, which is that your mother to be released.
Yes.
That the care be provided by the local authority as part of the discharge plan with the NHS.
Yes, plus myself and what I've got for her.
And that Bupa there should be a criminal investigation into this routine trafficking of elderly patients from King's College Hospital to Lewisham Hospital to this home to find out how many other elderly patients have been trafficked in this way, especially if they've had a minor stroke.
Yeah.
And they can, when they need a period of recovery, but they're taking advantage of a temporary situation that she could recover from.
They are
given the proper care.
That's correct.
They're exploiting it.
Yes.
As if it's it's a long-term problem, which it might not be.
Yes.
So the other thing you want to do is you want us to issue some kind of a cease and desist notice on Bupa
yes
company, as well
Yeah.
as the NHS, as well as we need to file a formal complaint to the CQC,
Right.
because the Care Quality Commission have been informed today of the problem,
Yes.
and it's an emergency because her life is in
Yes.
danger,
Yes.
and she's been kept against her will,
Will, that's correct.
against your will.
Hostage.
That's correct.
Yep. So we
And
need
I've
to
got a
decide
letter and a discharge letter for my mum to come into my care. I've got that
from Sunday. So
from
5
Sunday
days.
the 17th. So why did they move my mum 3 hours after? And I've checked it out with the home and they said, yes, I'm right. Your mum come here Sunday afternoon.
So Manley Court. Do you
Yes.
can you remind me the address again?
Manley Court, John William something. Hang on a minute. Another
Google it.
postcode is SE14 5 X-ray A for Apple. I'm
You're
pretty
doing it
sure of the
publicly.
postcode.
Can I suggest you do that afterwards? You're giving details away on the internet to strangers.
Oh,
Mm.
sorry.
Maybe better if you do it after the videoing and then
Yeah,
share it
I
with Nina
agree
and
with you.
then we
I
share
agree
by
with
email.
you. Yeah, that's true.
Harry?
That is true.
Would it
Yes,
be a
Millie?
good idea if she got a habeas corpus out?
Who's going to enforce it?
Well, I don't live too far from Lewisham,
Right.
so if we can get a gang of people to all go up there.
Agree.
You'll get
Yeah.
police arresting you.
Yeah, I don't want you lot to get arrested.
Better to do a nagging attempt, just to make a nuisance to the home and remind them of their legal responsibilities
Yeah.
and then their financial responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yes.
They start getting emails, they won't like it.
No.
Yeah.
Calls. So share the home address, your mother's address, mother's details and the telephone numbers after this. by
Okay.
email, so it's secure.
Okay.
We can all of us then take responsibility. If we all say that we're going to make at least one phone call, I'll ring every day.
Oh, thank you. Thank
then-
you.
They won't like it.
Yeah,
No.
I'll ring. I'll ring tonight, actually.
Yeah, well, I will.
Oh, that's sweet
I'll
of
be ringing
you.
till about 1 a.m.
I make the
Keep
call
ringing
now.
everyone.
So, Neela, it's all right doing all that waffle, but you need to do something quite crystallized. So I think a discharge plan and
Yeah.
a cease and desist order from this group now,
Yeah.
and then we just do the paperwork to back that up afterwards.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's true. True. I
So you
agree.
best take a vote then.
Yes, well done, Dave.
Yeah. So, who's going to do the paperwork? Are we going to write that you're going to do that, Baz? Or...
Are you volunteering?
No.
Can we can use this link as the cease and desist notice?
Okay.
It's less. I mean, we can use it to back up the cease and desist notice, but I mean, it only has to be a paragraph.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything complicated.
And you need to take the vote now.
Yes, now
Yeah.
because it's already 8:05. We're an hour and a half overdue.
Okay.
Take the vote.
This is for the cease and desist, yes? For the
Yes.
So cease and desist. I think we need to mention duty of care there.
Yeah,
So remind them of their duty of care. Cease and desist.
exactly.
Remember, by law, she's entitled to quietly enjoy her life with family.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember. So I think we'll put quiet enjoyment in the form.
Yes.
What about Companies Act 2006? It's still about contracts.
Yeah, we can use that afterwards to enforce the lien
Okay.
because they've got no contract, and if they have, they've got their mother, who they admit is not compos mentis, to sign something, which means
Exactly.
nothing.
And that care home, it deals with a lot of patients that are suffering with dementia. My mum don't have that.
Yeah, well, so we've got to get to the bottom of that. But all right, so let's do.
The other thing that's happening is a lot of these care homes are linked to one solicitor's firm in Manchester.
Yeah,
Is
that'll be it.
it?
Yeah. Because my same friend, Andy knows him as well. I won't mention his second name, but David. Andy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, David, his mother went through the same thing. She died. They tried to take the assets and strip the assets off her. Dave was given power of attorney, and then the council have come in to try to take the power of attorney off them. We done a
Oh,
bit more digging
no.
on it, and we found out that all these places are all linked to one solicitor's firm in Manchester.
God, no.
I'll
That's
find
good.
I'll find I'll find the name out. I can't think of the name, but I'll find the name.
Harold Shipman's?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the
Harold
future plan.
Shipman's, because it certainly sounds like Harold Shipman's in you know, this is what it's sounding like.
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable.
We
This
take
is
the vote then,
exactly the
Neil.
same as what
Yeah,
Harold
take the vote then.
Yeah,
let's take that
All
sure.
those in favour?
Yes,
Aye.
yes, George,
Yes.
yes.
Aye,
Yes.
aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Yeah.
aye.
Anyone saying no?
Anybody, yeah, is anybody else in here that's not given the voice? Sucheta?
Yeah, I.
Yeah.
You need to write the names down, Nilu.
That's unanimous then.
It is unanimous.
A
Yeah.
another unanimous decision.
Thank you.
Let's hope they're watching this. You may get a phone call, say, don't bother, you don't need to write any letters. Your mum, can you come and pick your mum up, please?
Yes.
Andy, have you got that shared over that platform thing that you can share across?
This is on Nilu's channel at the moment. This is on Nilu's Facebook, live on Nilu's
Okay.
Facebook.
Right, we're going to have to try to show Nilu how to set that up. So when she goes
Okay.
live, it goes live to about 30 platforms.
Yeah, I'll have to set that
Okay.
up as well.
We'll have to teach people not to swear online first.
Yeah.
And we're all going to have to really get our sovereignty and get back onto the land.
Yes, that's
All
true.
got to do this. It's important.
That's
It's
a must.
true.
Yeah.
I like being offshore.
I get seasick.
Hi,
I don't.
Margaret. I just saw you.
Oh yeah, hi Sandra. I was gonna say I'll call you later.
You hear what's happening to my mum? They kidnapped her.
Yes, I'm just, I'm just speechless.
And you know how much I care for my mum.
Yeah, I go there with you so many times. Yeah, we go there.
Yes.
together. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And I'm sorry to hear what happened to you, but we talk about that another
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Wow. So sorry.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
It's just all about the corruption, the whole
Since this
system is
Pope,
corrupt.
there's so much corruption, so much.
The whole system is corrupt.
You wonder what world are we living in? That you don't hear no good news anymore. It's all bad news.
Yeah, we're run by Nazis, that's why.
Well, it's hard to rise above it sometimes. It drags you down.
Yeah.
And these people, they join these professions so they can do what they like. They don't join the profession to actually have a heart for the job. They do it to scheme.
Yeah,
It's
I go along with that.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's all about the money. They're after the
Perks of
money.
the job, mate. It's perks of
Equity.
the job. And they do it with impunity. Well, not for much longer. You know, this is-
Yeah.
Okay,
this
so
is
we've
the
done
crap
we've done the
system.
cease and desist. So what was the other thing, Barry? There was two things you said.
Well, we're just going to remind them in the discharge plan about the duty of care and her entitlement to quiet enjoyment of her life.
So is
Yeah.
that another thing we vote on?
No, that's all in it. So we'll do
Oh,
a
it's all in
paragraph. You and I will build the paragraph tomorrow, and that can be circulated to everybody, so everybody can then email it.
Can we get the phone numbers out so we can give them a ring?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you
Can
Yeah.
Can I give that number? Can I give that number
Yes.
out?
Yes,
Yeah.
you
I
can.
would not- I
You
would
can.
not
But
give that
after
number
this
here
is
because I wouldn't-
after this is
I wouldn't
finished,
give that
you
number.
can
Okay.
give it to them, Neil.
Afterwards.
I
All
would
right.
not give
Yeah.
that number
By
here
email
because-
afterwards because you're circulating data.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, Tom, speaking from experience, you know we've got trolls watching us. You know
Yeah.
that they'll be phoning up
Definitely.
and saying, "Oh, there's
Yeah.
a group of idiots going to be phoning up in a minute." That's all they do, just like they did with Carol Woods and everybody else.
Well done.
Mm-mm.
Well done, Andy.
Yeah, turn the answer machine on, don't they?
You get the trolls that will go in there to shut you down before you get a chance to even speak to them.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. So is anybody offering to do this? Because I don't expect my kind of channels to survive this attack today.
Yeah, nothing will happen for that.
What attack?
Well, the
No, I'll help you do the complaint to Facebook for that one. Don't you worry.
oh, it was my YouTube. My
Yeah, all right,
yep,
we'll
that
do
was
the
my
complaint
YouTube.
to YouTube together. Don't worry, I'll help you with that.
All right. Okay.
But
Oh,
you and I
thank
can-
you.
Neela, you and I can do the document tomorrow and circulate it to everyone.
We could take a vote on that actually as well, couldn't we, while we're at it? We could take a vote on that tonight. You know, why are they letting it happen?
Yeah.
Well, Nilu put the what's out, didn't she? Nilu's put the link out so anyone can join. When
We
you put
weren't
the link
policing
out,
at that time, Dave.
I had all sorts joining mine when I was doing those things. That's why you learn to do this.
We'll have to police it in future.
Yeah. If I was, I could have
Sorry to
deleted
use that word, Reg.
But these people are, you know, they're computer hackers as well. I mean, I
Yeah.
deleted them out of the camp, but he still kept coming in.
Yeah.
They've got the power to override. These are GCHQ. You know, this is who it is. You know who it is.
Yeah.
We know they're watching because Stephen's received a load of paperwork since we discussed it the other day.
Is it?
Yeah. An invite.
Not to the Christmas party.
No.
I wish. No. For council tax.
Yeah, that'd be right.
No,
Money.
We'll have a chat tomorrow, Stephen. We'll have a chat tomorrow about that. I can give you some.
Yeah, I've been meaning to give you a ring. I've been busy in work and everything
Sure.
else. So yeah, I'll give you a bell tomorrow.
No problem.
When is the next 6 o'clock, Barry?
Can we make it next Wednesday, or is that too far away?
That's too far away because we're going to have loads of emergencies before then.
Well, if there's an emergency, you can convene one, can't you, by email? But Monday then?
Monday, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
6
We should
o'clock
have the
Monday.
results. We should have the
Yeah, I'll
results.
be on that. Yeah.
We should have the results about rescuing your mum by then.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers
So I'm
crossed.
really worried. I'm
be out.
really, really worried.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I was.
I am. It's like I feel that I'm gonna have a stroke myself. You know, I
It's
don't feel
awful.
myself, but I'm trying to perk myself up, you know, because I'm diabetic as well. And people that suffer with diabetes, we can't take on too much stress.
I mean, when there's something like what we're doing right now, imagine if we
I
had,
really
if we had 50
appreciate
groups of 50.
your help. You don't know. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it helps to have a bit of contact with people that
Oh,
are
it
like-minded.
really does. It
Yeah.
really does. Because just speaking to Nilu from yesterday, I feel 50% better because I was a broken woman yesterday. You know?
Yeah.
How can they do this? I want the hospital shut down. This hospital must open because what they're doing to people, it is totally inhumane.
They
It's
got used to doing
wrong.
it. They've
We're
got
doing
used
it by
to it.
exposing it. I mean, just by
And
you
if
speaking
they
to
can
them.
lie, they are the reason why lie is in the dictionary. They can lie. It
Can
just
I
runs out
can
their
I
mouth.
can I just add in
Yes.
2011?
Yes.
Dr. Akina Adoko, ex-president of the Law Society of Uganda,
Yeah.
for having fought my baby niece's case, was injected by a stranger in his arm who came into his cubicle in King's
God.
College Hospital in Denmark Hill on 2 occasions, and he died a month later.
Oh
And this is the extent that the National Health Service has gone to assassinate targets. I'm talking from first-hand experience. They put a do not resuscitate on him, and I had to fight to get that off him. And they then
How old was he? How old was he?
Well, he was 80. He was
Because
80.
I was told they don't recommend my mum resuscitating. I said, you're not living in my mum's body. They're saying that they resuscitate her, she can get brain damage and all this nonsense.
Well, this is at this point when they say that is when they put them on this artificial ventilation, and that literally kills them when they take it off because they take it off too quickly.
God.
So
this is getting too much.
that's how I know that the National Health Service, from my baby niece in 2000, and then my real dad, he was supposed to have an eye operation privately.
Yeah.
At this Roding Lane, I think that's Bupa.
Yeah.
And they, instead of, he had partial eyesight, but after £2,000 operation, he had no eyesight.
Oh
Because
my
he was
God.
a targeted person. So then they put him on a CT scan. They had elderly people in Whips Cross Hospital. They all were starved to death. My dad was diabetic. They starved him to death. All patients on this medical assessment unit were literally all died.
They're wicked.
Yeah, they are. They are vermin.
They're evil.
I think that's what happened to Danny on Tuesday, Andy. I think the same thing happened to him on Monday. Switched the tubes off. Next minute, he's dead. You know, he's only 40.
They put the devil out of business, how they're carrying on.
Yeah,
So,
sick,
you know,
mate.
my,
Sick.
you know my opinion on hospitals.
Yeah, I know, Andy.
You ever see me in hospital, shoot anybody around because they've kidnapped me and taken me in there. I will never go in hospital, and you'll never see me go in hospital.
Barry was trying to speak, but he was muted. I don't know what he said.
Oh no!
Just saying, can we get back on subject because we need to do that circulation of details tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everybody make as many.
Yep.
they can
Shall we
manage.
wrap it up? We'll wrap it up now.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming today on the
Thank
6th
you.
Global Online Jury Administrators Training. We are all qualified as administrators. You must get your Zoom account or Brave account so that you can do what I'm doing if in case my account
Okay.
closes because of this guy in a birthday suit earlier on. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Monday.
Thank you,
Monday,
everybody.
6
guys.
p.m.
Thank
See you then.
Thank you,
Monday.
Nino. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Barry.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Steve.
So we can make the phone call tomorrow, yeah?
Monday at
Thank
6.
you all.
Be in touch.
Everybody, be
Yeah,
safe.
thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.